Oh my goodness, guys, that's incredible. Just everything is perfect here and it's wonderful, really wonderful. It all started on a Thursday morning at 5 a.m. We got in our car and set off for France, because we wanted to make a stop over there. A long drive was waiting for us. But then, after about 10 hours of driving, we finally arrived. Now we are in France and we are making a little stop here. We are here now for a night, and tomorrow morning we're driving over to Spain. And here is a really great location. So it's really nice to do some landscape shots, and I did this already here and the photos are amazing, I love that. Right next to our campsite was a river, and of course I had to take the opportunity to take photos. I wanted to take long exposures of the massive rocks in the river. Luckily I had bought an ND filter, so I was able to realize this plan. When I took some pictures of the shore, I took off my shoes and stood in the river. This way I could take photos from completely different perspectives. When it got darker and there were not that many people around, suddenly lots of wagtails appeared. They jumped around between the stones in search for food. But it was already quite dark, and so I went back and looked forward to the next day. The next day started in the car again. We had another 5-hour drive to Spain ahead of us. After some time, we could already see our destination, the Pyrenees in Spain. The Pyrenees are a beautiful mountain range on the border of Spain, which we had to cross. But then we had finally made it. We had arrived at the campsite in Spain. After we set everything up, I didn't want to waste any time, and I immediately went to explore the area and take pictures. Near our campsite was a nature reserve. I had to cycle for about half an hour on a big road until I finally turned into a small side road that led to the nature reserve. Guys, the ways here are awful. Here are so many cars and there's a lot of sand on the road and all the sand is going in my eyes. Oh my goodness, that's awful. And I have to cycle here about 50 minutes now. But even before I could reach it, I found my first subject to photograph. They were monk parakeets resting in a tree next to the road. I was so overwhelmed that I completely forgot to film anything for you. These are the only pictures I was able to take. Then I parked my bike in a small car park and walked through a gate into the nature reserve. And what I saw there was simply breathtaking. Guys, Oh my goodness. This is amazing here. I'm just crying. Oh my freaking goodness. It's like paradise here. That looks, oh my goodness. I'm speechless. What the hell is going on here? Check this out. When I entered the nature reserve, I felt like I was in a paradise. To the left and right of the narrow path were small streams and everything was overgrown. I felt as if I had landed in the deepest jungle. I couldn't get out of my amazement. I walked along the path until I suddenly saw something moving in the meadow next to me. I looked closer and saw a large group of deer, fallow deer to be precise. There were fawns drinking milk from their mothers, and all this just after a few minutes being in Spain. I walked on and found this night heron in a small lake. I've never seen this bird before. Unfortunately, it was already much too dark to take good recordings, but it was still a wonderful experience. So I went back to the campsite and had a rest after this first successful day. The next 2 days I didn't do very much. I went diving in the sea with my sister and we wanted to film fish, but we were not very successful. So I just enjoyed the time with my family and the holidays. On the 5th day, of course, I had to go to the nature reserve again. I set off early in the morning by bike. When I'd been in the nature reserve for about 5 minutes and wanted to have a look at one of these heights, which can be found everywhere, suddenly this little guy came out of the bushes 2 meters in front of me. A nutria. I had the shock of my life and unfortunately could only take this one picture. And then I arrived at the first hut. These are freely accessible and usually by a lake. The first thing I saw was this group of great egrets, but unfortunately they were quite far away. But the great egrets were not the only animals I saw there. In the beautiful morning light, a sandpiper, a young great-crested grebe, a moorhen and even a turtle ventured out. But just see for yourself. As I went on to explore the nature reserve further, I suddenly saw 3 or 4 birds in the meadow. At first I thought they were partridges, But when I looked at the video at home, I realized that they were probably a group of red-legged partridges. The video may not be very good, but it was still a wonderful encounter for me, because I'd never seen these birds before. After a walk of about 20 minutes, I came to the next height. When I went inside, I was a bit disappointed at first. This hut was kind of a stilt house and quite high above the water. The problem with this is that for good pictures it is best to be at eye level with the animals. And this was not possible there. I saw a few great egrets, and after a few minutes I saw another bird in the distance. A kingfisher. It was much too far away, but that was not the last encounter with this bird. I can promise you that much. Nevertheless, I made the best of the situation and tried to photograph the great egrets. Then I suddenly saw something swimming in the water. At first I thought it was a snake, but then I quickly realized that it was probably just a fish. As I was about to leave, I suddenly noticed a small bird sitting in a bush a few meters in front of me. I'm not sure what kind of bird it is, but I suspect it is a sedge warbler. Yeah guys, I photographed right now in a height, and I photographed some great egrets. I think that's the correct English name. And yeah, I don't wanted to talk to you in the height because there were some other photographers and I don't wanted to scare the birds away. So I decided to do this now, and that was incredible. So I was able to take amazing photos and videos, and it's so much fun to photograph here. I can tell you that's amazing because here are so many birds. You hear them chirping all the time and they are singing, and just everything is perfect here, and it's wonderful, really wonderful. And now I'm walking a bit further and look for some other lakes, and hopefully I can find some other birds, or probably I can find some deer, or yeah, just see what I can photograph here in the nature reserve. After a few minutes I found the next hut with a wonderful lake. Unfortunately there were no birds, but I decided to show you what these heights look like from inside. There's always a door, then you can go in there, and here are some benches. I already laid down my camera here, and here are these windows, and you can close these windows or open these windows as you wish, and then you can look out of this out of the lake, and it's really nice. So the birds can see you and you can take amazing photos, and that's incredible. And I wish we have something like this in Germany too, because that's amazing. Check this out. Now, when the full midday sun was out, it was getting far too hot and all the birds had gone, so I walked back to my bike and rode home. I was very happy with this first real morning in the nature reserve and was looking forward to the next time. And I think that's a good ending for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I would be very happy if you subscribe and give this video a thumb up. Next Saturday, we will continue with this adventure. So be excited and stay tuned. See you out there. Bye.